Good morning. It's 11 a.m. straight up January 14th, 2023 on a Saturday.
Straight up January 14th, 2023
There I've got,
on a
let's see,
Saturday.
Martin,
January 14th,
there I've got, you mute your YouTube audio. There I've got, you mute your YouTube audio. Is that coming over there? Where is it coming from? Is that coming over there? It might be coming from me. Yep, it was coming from me. I had my monitoring window open and I didn't have the pre-mute set up on my Windows, so that's what happened there. Martin is in the Zoom session. I've asked him to mute his microphone for a bit, so he's good. Martin, you should be hearing me over Zoom, so you should be able to mute the audio on your on the YouTube stream. I'm going to go take a look a little bit in chat. I am not up to date on chat. I have not been following it since I made the revision to today's description. And I'm hearing somebody else come into Zoom. I'll ask you also to mute yourself for the time being. And I'm going to go catch up with chat. Then I'll come back. Oh, if I can push the right buttons here. What in the world happened there? This is totally not right. Ay, caramba. Let's bring zooming back down. Okay, that fixed that. I think I'm okay now. Fix that. Okay, so then bring chat back up. I am still streaming. I see the stream, and here's the chat window. So what happened there is when I zoomed in, all my screens went wonky. Yeah, Jim won't be joining today. Ida says good afternoon, and item number 1 is postponed. Description in regards to 1. I'd let people know that I've changed that, and let's turn the picture-in-picture on. Rick Lakes, hello. Mortant, hello. Jonathan, hello. Martin says hello in chat. He's in the Zoom session currently. Jonathan asking for topic 2, which is Martin. Ida Selden Bell. Jonathan again. CFW. Ran Israel, hello. Hank. And Mortant again, Selden Ball again, Jonathan, John Williams, 1 p.m. in Wisconsin. Then, let's see, AVR, DVR, good. Did you change microphones? Oops, I have my microphone turned. Let's make sure I've got the right microphone selected, because there was some recent monkeying around with that. XSplit is showing that I'm on the default microphone, and then checking my microphone settings on Windows to make sure it's set to the Blue Yeti. Yes, and looking at my audio meter and XSplit, that looks okay. So take a quick look down at bottom of chat. Rand says much better. So that's probably when I turned my microphone. I don't even know when it got turned. Speedy C, Alan Spain, hello. John Williams. Rand Israel says much better. Zvi Minor, you're right. Today is Saturday. That's in reference to not my faux pas. It's one of the other Dougs that made the mistake yesterday. Friday's show, he had 2 live streams scheduled, one for Friday, one for Saturday, and apparently he selected the Saturday show for yesterday's show, and that was all confusing because then the title and the thumbnail was wrong. Ay, caramba. We need to vote him off of the island, I think. Oh well. Alex Cheak, we were planning to talk about his internet change over, but he had to leave the house. He's out in the car right now. Said he was going to be listening while he's riding, and I said, well, he offered to do that while he's in the car. I said, no, let's just postpone to another day. So we're going to jump right in with Martin Hogg's issue. Let's say hello to whoever else is in Zoom. So here we go. Chris Garrett is with us. Chris, you can unmute yourself to say hello, and then let's see. I saw you say hello, but you're not. But you're still muted.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. So then he's back on mute, and then we'll get started with Martin. And Martin has already explained to me that he's talking to us on Zoom from his computer. You could go ahead and unmute Martin. So I'm looking at the red microphone. He's looking to unmute. Hasn't reached it. Yeah, there he goes.
That's us. Way.
So you're in the UK, right?
I'm in Scotland, yes, on the west
Oh,
coast.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Outstanding. All right. Well,
windy and cold.
windy and cold. Oh, that reminds me. I set up my camera to be able to show my rainy weather. Let me see if I get the right button here. So I'm going to switch over to my tripod camera, pointed out my window. There, it's wet outside. Those stringy things that you see going up and down my window is the Christmas lights that I didn't realize that I still haven't removed from my window until I opened the shade just before showtime. Figured, I can have that open since there's no sun out there. Usually I have to have those blocking shades drawn because it brings in too much light. So, Martin, our subject that we're going to be addressing with you today is item number 2 in the description of today's video about the flickering or blinking video camera on your wife's computer when using Zoom, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a format that I've got in mind for us dealing with that. I'm going to describe how I'd like to proceed with that. I'm going to come over here into the description under today's video and show this number 2 live troubleshooting Martin Hogg camera flickering in Zoom. Then do a last catch up with chat. I see some more people there. Greg, Dennis, hellos. And come back to Zoom. So I briefly saw the symptom when you tested connecting to my Zoom session earlier this week. Yeah. I don't know offhand what's causing it. What I have in mind here is that we'll demonstrate the symptom, and then if there's an obvious place we want to go to based upon my thoughts or the chat room, then we'll go do that. If we don't have an obvious solution to it, which I think will be the case, then we're going to go document the equipment, the computer, make and model, serial number, the camera, device manager, things like that. And the reason why I want to go ahead and do that is because the chat room participants will go do some research while we're working further. Once we identify the equipment, then we'll go look at some troubleshooting things that come to my mind. Then we'll come back and look at chat. And if we don't have a solution during the 2-hour time span, I'm inclined that we will end the session, give a chance for more comments coming into the video and some more research to be done, and then pick it up again later.
Yeah.
Is that
okay?
Sound okay to you? All right.
Yeah, that's good with me. Yes, it just wouldn't have been possible to have the Zoom session on with you just now on my wife's computer because we'd have had the symptom.
Right.
In fact, sometimes the camera doesn't even start up.
All right.
And I have tried a separate USB camera, so it's not the camera.
Okay. Chris, if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and have you, turn off your camera until you're actually going to participate. And I'm thinking I want to change the frame so that it's just Martin and I for a while. So, but I'd still like for you to be able to participate audibly. How do I do that?
Sorry about that, Chris.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can.
If Chris was scheduled for a number 1 slot, then feel free to.
No. He's just here to participate and interact with your situation.
Okay.
So I have selected a menu option in Zoom to hide non-video participants. When Chris wants to speak, he can unmute himself and still speak.
Okay.
And if he wants to if he turns his camera back on, then it'll pop back in and be able to converse with us. So Chris, would you go ahead and test that? Just go ahead and try say something without turning your camera on, so I can make sure that you can pipe in audibly.
Hey, yeah.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. That'll work. That's good. Thank you. So let's start with demonstrating the symptom. So how about you go ahead and join the Zoom session from your wife's computer, and people will be able to see what that looks like.
Okay. So at the moment, you don't want me to use the remote function, just
Well,
simply try-
actually, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. We've already preset up so that Martin can double click on an icon that's on his desktop that says DougBetts Remote. So he's going to do that, and I'll be able to bring up his computer on screen, because actually the camera symptom shows up on your wife's computer, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see it there. Although, because of the remote connection, it might be aggravated even worse.
Okay.
I have the chat window open in front of me as well, so I am seeing people saying hello to each others. If you want to get my attention in the chat room, hit me in orange. That means you start with the @ symbol and then type my channel name, which is LIV, then you should be able to click.
Well, at the moment it says connected. A support representative will be with you shortly.
Yep, I have the message on my screen that I'm displaying on YouTube now. I right click on your name there and click start, and then I'll click restart applet as a system service. You'll get a prompt on your screen that you need to respond to.
Yeah, I've got a Windows Defender firewall has blocked some features of this app.
Yeah, go ahead and click to allow that, or yes,
Allow
whatever.
access. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. UAC is enabled on this PC. Please click OK to allow. Yes.
Yep, do that.
And another UAC, this time for the rescue calling card.
Right, allow that.
Yeah.
Now on my screen I have a launch remote control session button.
You'd like to view your desktop, and I just say OK.
Yep. Okay, now I'm going to make your screen larger on my side. Stretch to window. And then I'm going to minimize that Log Me and Rescue chat window and minimize the Zoom cloud meetings. Let's see, we want to join.
Oh,
We
you
want to join here.
Yeah.
Now, the resolution coming through the remote connection isn't very good. I'm going to take that off screen for a moment and click that drop down list. I'm just doing that because I don't want to be exposing some other Zoom meeting.
Okay, so you'll put your codes in. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the name that we're going to use, and remember my name for future meetings.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to don't connect audio, and we're not going to turn off video. So I don't want the audio to come through from your wife's computer, because the audio is coming through from your computer right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, and then clicking join. And then the meeting passcode. I wonder if I can remember it.
I've got it here.
I think I remembered it, so I'm going to try that. I did. Always
Oh,
show.
there you go. So it hasn't even started the camera.
Yeah, we've got a message here. Always the checkbox. Always show video preview dialog when joining a video meeting. We should be seeing a video preview right here, and we're not. Go ahead.
That does sometimes happen, Doug.
Okay.
Now, you'll see up in the top right-hand corner, there's a label has come up, said cannot start video.
I do not see that message. The top right hand, oh, up here, yeah, it's way up on the upper right.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. The vision that you have of me just now, side on, is from my own laptop that's sitting beside us here.
Understood. So here in our camera settings, we have HP True Vision HD and we have integrated camera.
Yeah. Now the integrated camera is the USB camera that I also have up here.
Okay. And that's connected to your wife's computer, but that's not the camera that you want to be using for her Zoom session?
Well, no, it's fine. It's connected to my wife's computer. But if you click on integrated camera, it would normally start up this other camera, but it's not doing. I mean, I can put my hand right up to the camera, and you're not.
Okay, let's see. Failed to start the video camera. Please select another video camera in settings. Failed to start the video camera. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to close down the Zoom connection from your wife's computer.
Yep.
And we'll go take a look at the camera.
Yep.
Exit Zoom. And then down in the notification area, Zoom has completely exited.
Yep.
I'm going to adjust my picture-in-picture a little bit because it's a little bit too low.
Yeah. And you'll find, Doug, if you go to the start menu and then go into the camera app, it'll be fine.
Okay. Now, so far we have not seen the symptom that your wife has been experiencing on Zoom sessions, which was a flickering.
Well, I think we probably have seen the symptom, but just in a worse state because it didn't even start the camera.
Yeah, that's probably a related symptom. Now let's take a look. I'm going to go take a look at Windows updates on your computer. So I hit the Windows key on the keyboard, and then I'm going to select Windows Update Settings. Greg M., I see your comment in chat. That's a good one. He says, privacy settings for Zoom allowing access to that camera. We'll take a look at that. And optional updates. I want to see if there's any updates that might be related. Yeah, Intel system updates certainly could be related. Before we do that, we'll go take a look at privacy settings. I hit the Windows key and type privacy, click on privacy settings. Let's see, where is this for the camera? General speech, inking, device, there's camera. Camera access for this device is on. Allow apps to access your camera is on, and then scroll down further, choose which store apps can access your camera. Zoom is not in this list. It's not, I don't think it's a Microsoft Store app. We come down here, allow desktop apps to access your camera. This is turned off. And this would indicate that Zoom meetings is not able to access the camera. So we'll turn that on.
Okay.
Some desktop apps might not appear in the following list or are not affected by this setting. Well, we're not concerned about that because Zoom meetings does show up there. And it's showing us last accessed January 14th, 2023, 1419, which is the current time. Is that 19 hours and 14 minutes, right? Is that the way that your time format is displayed?
That would be 19 minutes past 2 this afternoon.
Okay, so that was earlier today.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go take a look at what we get from Zoom. Here it is. And again, for people in chat, it'll be easier if you can hit me in orange when you have something to point out to me. Greg M did not give me an orange, but I happen to see it. I don't see any other comments regarding the issue that we're experiencing. So we'll go join a meeting again. And I'm going to take you off screen to select the meeting because there are some others listed there. And then bring it back on screen. Click join. I'm kind of proud of myself for remembering that meeting passcode. It's been a long time since I've looked at that. There we got a preview showing.
Yeah.
So now we'll join with video. I hear somebody else coming into Zoom. I'll ask you to mute your microphone. Oh, that was that was your wife's computer coming into Zoom. Duh.
But now there's the symptom. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. I see it in the background. So I'll just drag this window and we see the symptom. This flickering, strange video.
Yeah.
All right.
And you would get the same symptom if you went onto the onboard camera as opposed to the.
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. So right now, computer audio, join with computer audio. We do not want to do that. We do not want to test speaker. Choose only audio off options. So we'll just close that window without selecting. Join with computer audio. No, we're going to click continue instead of join with audio. And just see that for a little bit and see if we can change cameras while we're actually connected. So we're on we're on the integrated camera currently. So that integrated camera, is that in USB connected?
That's the USB connection, Doug, yeah.
All right. And then this one, HP True Vision. Seems odd to me that a USB connected is referred to as integrated.
I know. Yeah. It's just the way they do it.
All right. So here we're switching to the other camera. Is the other camera showing? Nope, there it is. It looks stable for a little bit. And then it's messed up. And it's showing the speaker. Now, is that alternating between me and you? At the top of that image?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I guess it is you. Yeah, that's all you. So it's showing your image up there in two separate frames. And then I'm going to switch back to the other camera, integrated camera. So for a little bit, it shows proper image, and then it gets that strangeness up at the top. So gives us the idea that it's not a camera issue. I'm very interested in doing that optional update. And then if that doesn't solve it, then I'd want to go do some documentation about the equipment involved.
Okay.
All right, so we'll close.
I really appreciate you taking some time to do this, Doug.
Oh, you're welcome. This is exactly why I started my channel. This is the kind of thing I want to be doing a lot of.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving us the chance to do that. We'll go take a look at Device Manager. Now I see some comments in red. Orange, Catherine says hello. I always hit you in orange. Thank you, Catherine. Chris is saying pixelated. Catherine says, please all like the video. Catherine recently pointed out that's not a request from her. That's a demand from her. If you don't do it, she's going to hunt you down and you'll have to answer to her. In fact, I am so concerned about that, the way that she worded that the other day, that I'm going to come over here to the video, and I figured I better like it myself. So there, I just clicked on the like button, and it's kind of fun. You can unlike and then like again, and see that little splash thing that happens. Well, that's kind of fun. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong keyboard there. Bring chat back up. Does this happen in the preview window as well? Yeah, we didn't see it in the preview window. corrupted, outdated drivers, possibly, from Al Neil. Yeah,
It does occasionally happen in the preview window, but not as often. It's usually once you click to join a session, join computer audio, then it takes off.
All right. Now, I'm checking to make sure I have the right mouse. I do. I'm trying to move the device manager window up a little bit. Let me try maximizing.
No, I really enjoy this kind of thing. I mean, I've noticed that occasionally on Carrie's channel, he'll maybe encounter a problem that wasn't expected.
Yeah.
And then he'll throw it open to the chat and say, well, what do you think? What should I do next? And by way of a teaching, so it's good.
Yes, I'm very much enjoying that, and that's why I was watching his channel for a long time before I got the notion, hey, I'd like to do that too, because and this remote connections, that's what I do a lot with my clients. What I'm doing here is I'm expanding sections that I think would be of interest. So for the people in the chat room and watching the video that are those who do research and stuff, I want to suggest that you pick up your cell phone, take a photo of this screen, and I'm going to point out a few other screens as we go along to document the computer, because sometimes what happens is we get deeper into it and then people ask, what computer was that? What CPU was it? And what did device manager look like? So if you take a photo with your cell phone right here, right now, I'm giving you a minute to grab your cell phone and do that, then you'll be able to go back and look at something later on if you want to. I just took a picture of it with my cell phone, and I'm going to be doing that as we go through this. So that's device manager. Don't see anything of trouble there. Now, integrated camera, take a look at, well, let's just try. I don't think that it's a driver for either of the cameras, since they both do.
No, I've been in device manager and checked for update drivers, and Windows tells me that the drivers are.
Okay, so you've already done both of these.
Yeah.
I don't think these details are showing us much else. Well, now, wait a minute. This is showing us a driver dated 2006.
But if you click update driver, it tells you, it says Windows has determined it's the best driver that's on.
Yeah, but it's not always right about that, especially if it's if an older device. Because Windows 10 may not be making drivers for a camera that's that old.
Yeah.
So there's that possibility. But since both of the cameras are doing this, I don't feel that's a strong likelihood. Now, but let's go ahead and look at the driver date for this other camera as well. That's showing 2006 also. I did do those separately, didn't I? Did I do the same one twice?
I think that was the one you did first. The True Vision is, I think, it's the one that, that's the onboard camera.
All right. So let's go identify the computer a little bit.
Okay.
I know a little while ago I said that I was going to install that driver and see what that does for us, and then identify the computer, but I kind of got started down this road. So we got a device name is Compact Intel Celeron CPU N2810, 2.0 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Windows 10 Home 22H2. So here's a place again where you can take a photo with your phone. I am doing that myself. Give you a moment to do that. There's a whole bunch of chat in red, so I'm going to go catch up with that. Zoom version, okay, we'll get to that. Catherine, well done. You understand well. That's related to her demand about liking the video. I tried disabling hardware acceleration. I like that. Now I've disabled hardware acceleration in video, streaming software. I think there's a place to do that in Zoom. If somebody can give me the actual menu steps for that, that would be helpful. Video driver for update current. Yeah, it looks like that is video display driver. Is that what he means, or does he mean a camera driver? Does it show as pixelated to other Zoom users? Yes, it does. Correct, Martin?
Yeah.
Zavi, it is showing you and flip to the other. I think those images that were at the top, actually, I thought it was showing me and then Martin, but I think Martin in front of the camera looked kind of similar to me. I think it was all him. Greg M., I noticed that the Intel driver update is installed. Are there any updates available for that laptop? Have you checked that already, Martin? With the Intel driver updater?
The Intel driver updater.
I'm going to guess you're not familiar with it since you're hesitating.
Well, I am familiar with it. Yeah, I've got. You'll see down in the taskbar, you'll see the symbol for the Intel driver updater.
Yeah, down here.
Yeah.
So it should be showing an exclamation mark, I think, if there's a driver waiting.
Two along to the left. Yeah.
Am I not on the right one? Oh, is it this
No,
one?
that's the one. Yeah.
All right.
See, it says up to date.
Yeah, it did say up to date. I did do a double click on it, and it is opening. Oh, that's opening to the website. I guess that's what it does. I'm not into the Intel driver updater very often. Scanning your system. There we go. Your Intel drivers and software are up to date. If anybody wants a picture of that, go ahead and do so. Let's see, it does give a little bit of information about the motherboard. It says Hewlett Packard. Sorry, Catherine.
Quite a useful tool, that.
I did apologize to Catherine for displaying that it's an HP computer because she's not a fan. I'll go back and catch up some more orange. Is Zoom current version? Do you know that offhand?
It was yesterday, but they brought out, I think, an update today, which I didn't update because I knew we were coming on stream.
Okay.
So I didn't want to upset anything that we might have arranged.
Mortant says you might want to show hidden devices. I'll go do that right quick. I myself don't feel very attracted to that, but I'll bring that up. Going back into Device Manager and View menu and Show Hidden Devices. Expand Cameras. And now if there are hidden devices, it seems to me that they stand out and are noticeable in here. I'll minimize that and continue with orange. If you want to add any more to that, Mortant, I'll get back to that. Both cameras are using the same driver. Oh, is that it? Okay, so those dates were the same when I went to those two drivers, although I didn't write them down.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, that sounds like they are using the same driver. I wonder if that might be an issue. Have you tried disconnecting the USB camera and see if the symptom?
Yeah, I can do that now.
Let's do that because that sounds like a.
Okay, so all you have now is the one that HP supplied, the True Vision.
All right, I'm going to go back to Device Manager, and we should be able to see that is gone. Yeah, see, that is grayed out now, indicating that it's hidden. If I remove that check mark for Show Hidden Devices, we don't see it. So it's a hidden device because that driver is available, but if the device isn't connected right now, then it switches to be a hidden device. So the camera that's built into the laptop lid is this HP True Vision.
Correct.
Am I correct that it's actually built into
Yeah.
the lid of the laptop? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's go to Zoom. So that old driver from 2006, I think it was, that USB connected camera might not be that old.
No, the USB camera, I bought that about, what, 3 or 4 years ago.
What make and model camera is it?
It is, sorry. I don't see a name on it. No, I don't see one on it. That's it there.
Okay,
It has
so
a built-in. It's got a built-in microphone as well, with a separate jack plug for the sound if that's
All right.
required.
and did you say you bought it a year and a half ago, something like that?
About 3 years ago.
3
Yeah.
years ago. Was it
Yeah.
after COVID?
But this works fine on my own laptop that I'm speaking to you on just now. You know, this
Oh.
works great.
Oh, okay. So you can connect that USB camera to your laptop and it works fine. All right.
Yeah.
So sitting here in the preview.
And at one stage, I did wonder if maybe there was a bandwidth or a network issue, but my own laptop works just fine on the same network, so it's not
All right.
a network issue.
All right. So here we have the preview window showing fine, but I don't recall us seeing the symptom in the preview window yet. Did you say that in the past you have seen the symptom?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. All right. So we're going to go ahead and join with video. I hear that doorbell and I think it's somebody else coming in. All right. And we're going to join without audio, so I'll just close that window. And there's the symptom again.
And there's the symptom, yeah.
All right. So I'd like to leave that USB camera disconnected so that
Yeah.
we are simplifying the troubleshooting environment.
Sure.
I'm going to come back to chat and see what else we got.
It's really good when there's toothache and the tooth is actually hurting at the time, because you can, you're more likely to find the cause.
Yeah. So okay. So this link that was put in looks like it was to guide me to the hardware acceleration choices. So thank you. Whoops, I'm doing the wrong keyboard again. Come back to chat, and we'll come back to that hardware acceleration a little bit. Catherine does screenshots instead of photos, so she's capturing things as we go along with screenshots instead of camera photos. For me, because I have the show running, then my phone works better for that. Does this only happen in Zoom? I think you've already answered yes. This symptom only
Yes.
occurs in Zoom. On the
Only on Zoom, yeah. If you go into
Yeah.
the camera app on the PC on the start menu, it's fine.
which we have already demonstrated that.
Yeah.
It's let's see. If he is clarifying, it's showing you see the pic behind you. And he's clarifying there what that's showing up at the. Oh yes, it is. This is me. It is switching to me because Zvi is seeing the picture I have on the wall. It's switching between my picture and your picture.
Wow.
Good catch, Zvi.
But yes, it is only a Zoom symptom.
Yeah, I'm feeling very attracted to the hardware acceleration in Zoom. I'm gonna catch up with some more of these oranges. Try to get through them quicker. Could there be a
Yeah.
process causing the CPU to slow down the camera stream? Perhaps. Catherine, did you check optional driver updates in Windows? Yes, there is one Intel driver optional driver update, and I am proposing that we install that. Correct, I am not from Catherine. And Morton, HP has its own driver assistant. MS Info might give model number. Yes, that is on my list of things to document what computer this is, and we'll also get the serial number from WMIC. If they are the same driver, there may be a conflict. Yeah, and I think we've eliminated that by disconnecting the second camera. What's the make and model of the USB camera that he plugged in? I'm not too interested in that anymore because we've got it unplugged now. We might pursue that later, but let's try some other things that are Zoom centric first. The USB camera should have a driver CD. I have not found, I've purchased a lot of USB cameras for my clients. They've never come with CDs. Black Serendipity. Okay, those of you who know what
Can I also mention, Doug, one more thing that we can eliminate?
Sure.
I did uninstall Zoom.
Okay.
And reinstalled it again to see if that cured it, but it didn't.
Okay. Now, a lot of programs, when you uninstall them, that doesn't install any settings, changes that have been made. So there's a possibility there too, but hardware acceleration is really feeling promising to me. Gary says, I'm late. Did you check the video drivers? Yes, we did. I'm not going to review what that was right now because we didn't find much of interest there, particularly since the camera, that the USB camera is having that same symptom on his wife's computer, but when he plugs that USB camera into his computer does not have. However, your computer might be using a different driver than your wife's. Might want to try to list, might want to try jitsi.org for excluding a Zoom issue. I don't quite understand that comment. I'm not familiar with JITSI.
It is a Zoom issue.
Well, yeah, no, we already know it's a Zoom issue because the camera function built in. I guess jitsi.org is a different way of doing a online meeting, perhaps. Zoom settings, yeah, we're going for that. No longer provide driver software media. Who's the panel guest today? This is Martin Hogg from Scotland. And we're working with his wife's laptop Zoom Symptom. So let's get into that hardware acceleration setting. Let's see. Profile picture, settings, video tab, advanced hardware acceleration. All right. I've got the computer back on screen now. And then profile picture in Zoom profile picture. I think we can get into that down here. Whoops, wrong mouse. Move the mouse in the right place. Two mouse arrows visible to me. So here I'm trying video settings this way. See if that gets into it. Video hardware acceleration video settings. Do we get it in here? Is it on advanced? Video rendering, audio. Let's see, they said profile picture, then saying sign into Zoom desktop client. So I think we need to take her out of the Zoom session to get there. Leaving the meeting on your wife's computer. Sign into Zoom. So we're not actually signed into Zoom here. We're just using the desktop connection. Can we get signed in? Do you have a account to sign into?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take that off screen. You can go ahead and sign into it. I'm not displaying your sign-in credentials.
Okay.
I got to bring my chat window back up so it's visible to me.
Hey, Doug,
Yes.
don't mean to get too involved, but anyway, quick question. What is the processor on this laptop? Because it might be awful slow. And the graphics driver on the laptop.
Yeah, we showed that earlier. Let's see, I took a photo of it. Let me get back to,
I just got here.
yeah. And it looks to me like that might be the case. Bringing that up. It's an Intel Celeron N2810 2.0 gigahertz.
2810?
N2810, yes, is the CPU. Intel Celeron. I'm pretty sure you're more acquainted with the Celeron line than I am.
Well, I guess I know. I mean,
Are you gonna
yeah.
Are you gonna go check up on it?
Yeah.
And we are coming up to the point of like going into MS Info 32 and picking up the serial number for the computer, so that people can do some research. Let's see. You have signed in to Zoom.
Yeah, so I'm at the dashboard for the Zoom account.
Yeah.
You're going to click join, are you?
No. I'm come up here to the profile picture, then
Oh, okay.
settings, because these were the instructions to get to the hardware acceleration,
Sure.
and then the video tab, and then advanced. Now let's give it a moment and see if the symptoms shows up here.
Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
If that is somebody else, if that's somebody else that joined my Zoom session, can you mute your microphone?
Josh.
All right. Let's. Where am I going?
That looks okay.
Yeah, that looks okay there, but we've seen it okay in the preview before.
Yeah.
So this looks like the same advanced page that I got to before. The following options will be available depending upon your operating system. Optimize video quality with denoise right there. Oh, there it is. I missed that wording there earlier. Josh, can you mute your microphone for now, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Use hardware acceleration for video processing. Remove that. Now, some people probably saw that option there, and I totally missed it when if this was visible the previous time that I got into this page. Maybe this wasn't visible when we had the Zoom session live. Hardware acceleration for video processing, sending video, and receiving video. So we'll turn off hardware acceleration for all three of those. Then in here we also have video rendering method, which is on automatic right now. I am not acquainted with those options well enough to know if those are anything of interest to us. Video rendering post-processing is on auto. Seems like that would be maybe after the session is over if you've done a recording of the session. Video capturing method is also set on auto. There's no save button around here. I'll click back. Then I'm going to go right back into advanced and verify that those check marks are still gone. There's no save setting in here. I'll close that down. I'm going to go back in again. I don't always go back in and double check like this, but when I'm being extra prudent, I do.
I think there might be a Zoom update that is available.
Yeah, but you're saying it only came out very recently.
Yeah,
the chances that it is fixing this issue, yeah, it could be, but let's go ahead and see if that, and if we did that update now, we wouldn't know which of our changes fixed this.
That's true. Yeah,
so
that's
we'll go
true.
ahead and try joining. I'm going to take that off screen again. And
so do you want me to log out of my personal dashboard there?
Your personal dashboard. Yeah. Oh no. Well. We should be
Because
able to go into the
originally-
meeting from here, because the meeting's not even showing up here because it's not remembered in history here, right?
Yeah.
right. No,
'Cause originally it was just the Zoom cloud meetings rather
Yeah.
than the app, and this is the app.
yeah. I want to go ahead and do it from here. If
Yeah,
it
sure.
is if it is
Okay.
clean, then we will.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Then we'll try it again with just the web client.
Doug,
Yeah.
I did a link on YouTube
Yeah.
about recommended CPUs for Zoom
All right.
from Zoom.
Does is this CPU on the list or not?
They started i5s.
They start at i5s. Okay.
Yes. So,
So-
i3 and Celeron, no.
And this Celeron is not on their list of recommended. Was it recommended or minimum required?
They say minimum single screen hardware requirement i5 4-core 8th generation or higher desktop CPU.
All right. Close the audio. Close another audio. And there we have the same symptom. All right.
That's the room.
That did not do it. So what I think I'd like to do now is go identify more about the computer, then install that optional update, let the computer restart. After we've identified more about the computer, people might go do some other research, but I think what Gary just gave us about minimum
Yeah.
CPU requirement sounds pretty plausible. Now, how about does Zoom give us opportunity to reduce resolution of the camera? Now, I'm not going to start going down random paths. Let me go ahead and do the structure that I promised people. So Windows key R, MS info 32. Josh, would you mind turning off your camera and mute yourself again, and you'll be able to unmute yourself when you want to speak up, rather than if I mute you, then you can't unmute yourself. So here's another place for a screenshot or a cell phone photo for those who want it. We have a Compact 15 notebook PC, which the name Compact, I don't think they've been the name Compact, I don't think that's been associated with HP computers for a while, have they? And then there's BIOS version date is 2016.
Is that Windows? I'm not a Windows 10 person, but that's an old build, isn't it?
There's Windows 10 Home. Let's find. Well,
22H2.
Is that 22H? I don't know.
I'm checking here.
Yeah, it's the latest Windows 10 build. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 22H2.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. All right, so I'm going to take a photo of this screen. Anyone else wants a screenshot or a photo? This is me reminding you to do that. And then I'll do Windows key CMD. Run as administrator. I don't think I have to do that for WMIC. Answer yes to user account control. This will give us the serial number. And let's see, WMIC BIOS get serial number. No spaces between those two words. I'll increase the font size here by going to properties and then font and 28, so that you can read the serial number. I'll double click on it and paste that into chat. Control C to copy that, and I come over to, whoops, am I going to be able to do that? Nope, that's on Baby Beast. I don't have that up on Baby, so I'll just go type it in. Go type it into chat. Oh. 5CB 407 2H 38. That I saw that the previous selection I had up here was how far up? Video drivers, zoom settings, task manager to see CPU usage.
Shoot.
I need to catch up in chat at some point here. I'll close this down. Task manager is quick for us to get into, so we'll do that. Control Shift Escape. Well, that would only we'd want to be seeing that while Zoom is running.
Yeah.
It's 64% now, even without Zoom running. We don't have Zoom running right now. Let's see if I can launch it and keep Task Manager visible. Could select always on top. That'll keep it on top.
Yeah.
And join the meeting. Gary, would you mind muting yourself
Oh, I'm
till you want
sorry.
to talk?
I thought I had it was muted. I apologize.
All right. So here's the preview. Give that a moment to see if that does anything. And I need to get, let's see, how am I gonna, I'm gonna change this optional, but not always on top, and I'll just rearrange these windows so that we can see CPU. Oh, 100% CPU right now. Yeah, well, this goes on to what Gary was finding about minimum CPU requirements or recommendations, whichever it was. Join with video. Drag this window down. Close the audio question. So there we have the symptom going on, and the CPU is just really topped out. Look at the performance tab, 99%. Yeah, I'm thinking this is really looking dim. And we probably need to go look at that link that Gary gave us to document that in video. Got the serial number. What else do I need to get? I'm gonna shut down the Zoom session. Oh, I'm sorry. I was questioning earlier whether we can change anything about resolution of the video, but I think that's going down a futile path because we've already found that the CPU does not meet the requirements. Video rendering method. It's possible one of some combination of these settings might improve it, but if they've already told us that this CPU just isn't strong enough, then that might be the conclusion, Martin, but I'm not quite ready to give up on that.
If that proves to be the case, Doug,
Yeah.
let's imagine a scenario where over several Zoom updates, maybe they've all progressively put more facilities in requiring more CPU ability. Is it possible, do you know, with Zoom to go back to previous versions if it's problematic, if a previous version might use less system resource?
Some softwares do provide a way to go back to an older version and uninstall the current version and download an older version. I don't know that Zoom does that. I know that Zoom has improved their security quite a bit since the beginning of COVID, that would probably be ill-advised. Are you implying that it used to work okay on this computer?
Yeah.
Zoom used to work okay on this computer?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting. Now, a CPU list, in my impression, isn't written in stone. I have seen things that will work when they don't meet the published recommendations or requirements of the software vendor, and part of that may be due to the fact that they just don't test everything, and they may be saying these are the ones we've tested, and we say these are okay. If you go outside of this range, it might work, it might not work. And as you just implied, it could be that it used to work, but now it doesn't, because they haven't promised that it would work on the CPU that you have.
Yeah.
Let me go catch up in chat, because there's a lot of orange in here that I haven't got to.
Sure, you go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. There's hidden devices. We did that. Only Zoom. I got a little bit. I lost my highlight in here, so I don't know where I was at. Same driver conflict. CD driver. No Zoom settings. Interesting. Oh, now it jumped on me again. Update driver says it's up to date. Windows update is pending Intel. I'm not. I've seen conflicts with what Windows Update comes up with and what other driver updaters indicate. That I'm not too concerned about that. Let's see, you missed it just now. You were in the right place. Uncheck the options. Yeah, we did get to that. Chris is going to listen on YouTube. Thank you, Chris. Yes, what do you expect of seller on? Hopefully nothing. From Catherine. Ran Israel. Leave these on auto. So those other selections, his recommendation is leave these on auto. Now, I don't know what background he has with those options to advise that, but that was my inclination. From Catherine, is Michael's Windows the same version as his wife's?
Yes.
Martin has the same version of Windows. And what is his CPU? Why does she need to put up with the Celeron? So did you just say that Oh, your Windows version is the same, but is your CPU on your computer, Martin, more current?
Um, I'm not sure. I wouldn't think so. It's an old Dell Inspiron that one of my customers had upgraded and
Okay,
said, "Do I
well,
know
let me
anything that
let me
wants
just
to
have
know?"
you. I'm not connected remotely to that computer, but
No.
if you just right-click on the Windows icon on your
Yeah,
computer, and then
yeah,
click System,
yeah.
and you'll get your CPU identification, and you can read that off
Yeah,
to
sure.
us.
Yeah, I'm just doing that now. Yeah.
And for Greg M, yes, we got that answered. The Zoom did used to work on the Celeron computer. Ran Israel.
My processor's a Pentium dual core CPU T4500 at 2.3 gigahertz.
Okay, let me read that out again. I'm going to type it into chat.
The processor, the CPU, is a Pentium R for Romeo dual core CPU, T for Tango, 4500 at 2.3 gigahertz. And the installed RAM is only 4 gig, whereas my wife's is 8. And they're both 64-bit machines. And I don't have any trouble with mine at all.
And you said it's a Dell?
Dell, yeah.
What model?
A desktop MVKJUNC.
Look at is there a name on the computer, Inspiron or?
Yes, Inspiron, yeah.
Okay, I just put that into chat. Going back to catch up on chat.
Yeah, sure. You can.
So that was from Catherine. Zoom had worked. Ran Israel points out that it was cycling between all video participants, not just between me and Martin.
Oh, that's
Zoom,
interesting.
yeah. Zoom rooms or Zoom meetings. Let's see. Zoom rooms, Zoom meetings. Not sure what that was referring to. Going to Orange. Forbin Colossus points out older than Zoom is WebEx. That runs on older PCs. So there might be other video meeting softwares that would work better for her computer, but she's participating in other people's meetings, correct? She doesn't really have control over what meeting software is going to be used. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
I'm just checking the system information on my own laptop here, the Dell.
Okay.
It's an Inspiron 1545.
1545.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also running Windows 10 Home
Okay.
22H2.
Okay. I've added that to chat.
Okay.
Ran Israel says in video settings, disable HD video. Ah, good point. How much more orange is there? Yeah, we'll go try that now.
Ooh, sorry.
Well, did you have something to add, Gary?
I apologize for the comment. No, his is from 2009, so it's, I hate to say it, but it'll be specific to her machine then, if his works fine or acceptable.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there is his computer also not meeting.
Oh gosh,
Jim's?
it's even worse.
Yeah. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that computers that don't meet their specifications won't work. It just means they're not documenting that it will work.
Correct. No, I agree. I'm just
Yeah.
saying if his works, her should, logically.
I'll allow that there can be differences that don't make sense on the surface to us. Just because one person's older computer works doesn't necessarily mean in my mind that somebody else's older computer is going to work.
Without being Gary, I agree with you.
All right. So let's see. And Rand Israel saying in video settings, disable HD video.
I like Gary's answer, though. It means I'm less likely to have to buy a new PC.
Yeah. Well, it may be. Maybe it's reason to say, hey, I wasn't spending flagrantly. I had to do it. I was required to buy a new PC. So here, in response to Rand's suggestion, in video settings, disable HD video. It looks like it already is disabled to me. Now this says original ratio. Can I remove that check mark? I can.
Yeah, you can.
So removing both of these check marks sounds like it might be of interest. And mirroring my video. Let's try to simplify the demands as much as we can.
If you don't mirror the video, it gets confusing because the right hand becomes the left.
Do people in a Zoom meeting really need that?
I don't know.
Let's see if it makes a difference.
Okay.
Because I've taken off a couple of check marks there, and if there's something else that we can change, I'm looking to simplify or reduce the demand. Since we already know the CPU is running so high, always display participant names on their video. So I'll take that one off. Always show video preview dialog when joining a video meeting. The preview hasn't been assisting us or aiding us, so again, simplifying the demands on the CPU is what I'm looking to do here. All right, we've already confirmed that when I make changes in here, they stick. So then I'll go join the session again, taking the computer off screen until I select the meeting. And passcode. We're into an environment now where some technicians would say that I'm pushing it too far. They just say, tell them it's got to get a new computer. But sometimes I found pursuing it further will find a solution. And this was not it. Do you want to continue without audio? Continue. And so I'm looking to see it cycle through. I'm seeing it's only showing you and I, but you and I are the only participants that have cameras on right now. Josh, could you turn your camera on for a moment if you're at the computer and listening? Here he comes. He unmuted. There, Josh's camera is on, so let's see if he shows up. It looks like it's showing like the symptom is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Josh, could you turn your camera off again, please?
Yep.
And
not to beat my dead horse, but have you checked the graphic drivers on this for the internal CPU graphics?
Only in the sense that all these Windows drivers are up to date except for one optional Intel driver. So that is still on our list to do. Yes, Josh.
But you did.
I'm surprised that they still make computers with Windows with 4 gigs of RAM.
Well, they don't. They may not still. These are both old computers. Let's see. How do we turn off non-video participants for that computer? Isn't that where...
Another... Oh, sorry, Doug. Another quick question for you, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Zoom, obviously, not YouTube. I'm assuming you're seeing the same green and flickering screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm questioning, I mean, just, the coin in the air, could that be a hardware issue? So I'm not liking the way it's. I've never seen a driver do that. Maybe you have. I don't have as many different computers as you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That looks weird. But it only happens on Zoom, correct?
Yeah, it only happens on Zoom, and it only happens for the camera on this computer. The other participants show up okay. Let's see. Always show preview. No, I'm gonna remove that. So here I've said hide non-video participants to see if
Last
that
question.
reduces the effect.
Does she use that camera that's causing this? Does she use it for anything else? And it works fine. The camera on that machine.
Well, only in the camera app we see that the symptom is not present. But
Okay.
your question is actually a little different than that. So Martin, does she use her camera for anything other than Zoom?
No.
All right. Now I'm going to turn off my camera, my video in Zoom.
Gary and Josh, I appreciate your comments. Thanks for chipping in.
Yeah. Martin, on your computer, could you turn off your camera?
Sure.
So now there are no other participants than Martin's wife's camera, and it has not improved. Okay.
Doug,
Yes.
I wasn't here. Excuse. Did the external camera work or no?
The external camera, the USB camera, had the same exact symptom.
Same symptoms. And it's got
difference.
better that camera, the USB camera, the external camera that you're talking about, is actually a higher definition. It gives a clearer image. But yeah, the symptoms are just the same.
And the USB camera that exhibits the same symptom on his wife's computer does not exhibit that symptom on his computer.
Right.
Hey Doug, have you tried installing it through the device manager and installing it again?
I believe Martin has. Is that correct?
What are we talking about?
Uninstalling the camera driver in Device Manager and then reinstalling it.
No.
Okay. Well then that should be pretty quick to do. Go to Device Manager here. And I was just about to go do that optional driver, and then while it's installing and perhaps rebooting, catch up with chat. I apologize, chat. I know you may be getting upset with me. So cameras, right click, uninstall device, uninstall. Now we can't actually disconnect the device because it's built into the laptop lid.
Yeah.
To finish removing the device, you must restart your computer. Restart now. So let me explain. Well, Martin's on Zoom on his computer, so I'll go ahead and click yes. When the computer restarts, the remote connection to the computer will automatically resume.
Okay.
Let's see, there's some apps here that we probably should have closed down first, but it is trying to automatically close them. Task Manager is still open. All right, clicking restart anyway. Now, let me get caught up with chat. There's Randy Israel's comment that we did disable the HD video and other things. Scrolling down for orange from Catherine. Could Martin retire that compact computer or install at least Ubuntu XFCE on it and get his wife a newer laptop, preferably not an HP? Well, let's simplify that question. Martin, is it feasible to replace the computer?
I have a bootable version of Linux Mint that I could put on it.
And would that be palatable for your wife's purposes?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
Is it?
What I could do is, I mean, with my own PC here, that I'm talking John. This is dual boot. I've got Linux Mint and Windows 10 on my own machine here.
Yeah.
So I could make my wife's one dual bootable and see if.
Is it feasible for her to use your computer for Zoom meetings, or are they too?
Well, we
scheduling?
will do that in the interim. Yes.
All right. You can turn your camera back on your computer, Martin. Catching up with chat. Oh, Catherine, with more options comes a higher demand for more powerful CPU. Agreed. The Bronc, not enough computing power. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. Ran Israel, the high CPU usage was a combination of Zoom and LogMeIn. Yes, Zoom itself peaked at 80% and mostly took between 40 to 50%. So without LogMeIn, the CPU might not have been as strained.
Yeah.
Believable. Zavi Minor, can you show us the vid and PID of the camera details hardware ID? Sure, we can get to that when we get it back up. And I see that it's showing as available. Has the restart completed, Martin?
We're just at the welcome screen just now. Yeah, that's you.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and click to reconnect, but I want to get back to chat.
Yeah, sure.
Forbin Colossus, if you see Celeron or Zoom or Celeron in meeting software, people are making it work. Catherine says, sorry, Martin. I think she's referring to the advice about replacing the computer. Going to the next orange. Ran Israel, that Pentium CPU.
That's all right. I was going to buy her a drink, but that's postponed at the moment.
You were going to do what?
I was going to buy her a drink, but that's postponed at the moment.
You were going to buy her a drink? Oh, Catherine or Tricia? All right. And your wife's name, I take it, is Tricia, because you've got that on your Zoom session, right? All right.
Yeah.
Martin, are you on Wi-Fi or Ethernet?
Yeah, I know where you're coming from with this. It is Wi-Fi, but
Well, the question was to me-
I did as part of a week or so ago, I connected with an
Ethernet?
Ethernet cable right into the router, and the symptoms were just the same.
All right.
Just thought. So I was going to say, try moving it around a different room, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are in a different room, but my own PC, which is right beside us here, that I'm talking to right now, is also connected by Wi-Fi to the router, or the router, as you guys say. So that's not the issue.
Okay. Some more chat.
Good shout, though.
From Ran Israel, the Pentium CPU in Martin's computer is 3 years older than the Celeron in Tricia's computer, but it's a different instruction set between Pentium and Celeron. And then Wintermute is showing a CPU benchmark comparison between the two, but again, it's a different class of CPU, which might be the difference rather than flat-out performance. Catherine, I have another question for Martin. On which side did he connect the camera to the laptop? Right or left side of the USB board might be broken on the side that he tried, but I doubt it. Worth a try. Well, the USB camera is having the same symptom as the integrated camera. That certainly is a valid point as far as the USB camera itself, that it might perform better on a different USB port. I see there's other comments that are on point, but they're not in orange, and if I go through all of them, I'm not going to get caught up here. From Greg, what if you run msconfig check to see what other items are running on boot up? Well, that's a worthwhile point because can we lighten the load on the CPU by stopping other background
CPU.
programs? Martin, go ahead. Did you have a response to that?
Yeah, that's a good shout. I think you'll find if you go into Task Manager into the Startup tab, there's nothing really that is enabled for starting up.
All right, well, we'll take a quick look at that because I will
Yeah, take a
forget
quick
to
look.
get back to it.
Yeah. What I will do also, it's a valid point. What I will do also is go through the add remove programs list and see if there's anything there that we can get rid of that we don't need.
Sure. Yeah, but there's only 3 items here and they're all 3 disabled. You can't get much simpler than that. And then appwiz.cpl to get into programs and features. And this is looking like a pretty short list too. Well, it's not finished. I'll maximize that. If anybody wants a screenshot or a photo of that, this is your chance. Not much there. Okay, close that down. Come back
What's
to
that
chat.
Microsoft Edge WebView runtime? I've seen that before.
Coming back to it. Let's see, that was in AppWiz. I think I have seen it, haven't paid attention to what it is. This Microsoft Edge WebView 2 runtime. Yeah, can't say that I know that.
Don't know.
Then also in Task Manager for processes, it's going to be a long list to get through. I'll sort those by name. 3 apps currently active, background processes. Let's try page down key. This way, if somebody's interested in this, you can go back in DVR mode to capture screenshots of them if I can get this thing working. Turn off my picture-in-picture and then click in the scroll bar to go down 1 page at a time because my page down key was not responding. I'm not looking closely at these to evaluate them. I see a lot of zeros in CPU. But if somebody looks closer at that and draws our attention to it in chat, then we can revisit something. But that's sounding like we're getting into the environment of pushing way too far after determining that it just seems to be out of date processor for what Zoom is currently doing. Now we still have the possibility, does Zoom allow you to use an older client? MS config, so done that. Greg M, try uninstalling HP webcam, reboot, see if the driver reinstalling helps the issue. Didn't I just uninstall the driver?
We did, yeah.
Did we reinstall it? I don't remember reinstalling it.
Does Windows not just automatically pick the...
Well, we've restarted the computer since then. Oh yes, that's right. It said that it wanted to restart the computer when we did that uninstall.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So when it came back up, did it bring the same one back up? I'm clicking wrong here because some of the Dougs can't talk and click correctly at the same time. I guess I'm one of them. So let's see what's here for cameras now. We still have the USB camera disconnected. I believe that was a 2006 driver. And still 2006. So I think that's the same one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back into the chat. Catherine says, of course, Doug is slow with reading my comments. And everybody else's. Rand Israel, in Zoom settings, background effects verify that I have green screen is disabled. Pretty sure that's the case, but have you already looked at that?
I think it is.
All right, I guess.
I don't, because I have no need to have special effects.
Yeah, I mean it's disabled by default, I'm sure, and you haven't activated it. In fact, even on this computer, I don't think you can activate it. If the CPU, if the hardware is not up to this task,
Yeah.
it won't let you enable
Yeah.
virtual background. So I know that well enough. I'm not going to go pull that up. Al Neo looks like a rendering issue, would probably due to obsolete CPU that isn't directly supported by Zoom. Catherine, let her try it out, the Mint install Martin. Catherine's encouraging you to have your wife try out Mint. So I guess that's actually feasible to you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ida Rivera, it has to be a zoom setting in the way you show the video participants because it's cycling through them on top, and because the computer resources, they look pixelated. Yeah, well, we tried everything we could with the zoom setting, but I think the last part of this, computer resources, they look pixelated. The computer just doesn't have adequate resources in some point. Martin's computer has less RAM than Trisha's computer, but Trisha's computer is a Celeron CPU, whereas Martin is a Pentium. My gut reaction says that really seems like a likely issue. Have you run Windows Camera app on her computer? Curious of the issues too. Yes, we have. Wintermute. The Windows Camera app works fine. No trouble there whatsoever. And I think, let's see. Oh, Gary's to Wintermute's Martin's CPU is 2.5 times faster than his wife's CPU, even though Trisha's CPU is newer, more recent. They're both a bit obsolete.
Yeah.
But that difference, I think, was significant, even though Martin has less memory. And implying that the issue here is not RAM memory, but CPU. Continuing to Orange. Yes, you uninstalled it, then you restarted. She was responding. Some Dougs cannot remember. Absolutely, that's right. I did eventually remember that. And my memory is worse when I'm trying to talk and run a show and think of chat and think of live stream, all that at the same time. Gary says it looks like the laptop could use a graphics card driver update. So I'll bring that link up. Here's a download for 6th to 10th gen processors. Is that, what generation processor is that, Gary? The Celeron.
It also shows Celeron at the bottom
Oh,
of the
does it?
list. Yeah, I checked.
Okay, down here. Let's see, is it in this list? Trying to search for it.
It doesn't have it listed, but it says all Celeron and Pentium
Oh,
by themselves.
this download installs Intel graphics driver for 6th to 10th gen Intel Core processor graphics, related Intel Atom, Pentium, and Celeron processors. Then there's 3 more hits for Celeron. Similar verbiage here, I think. 6th to 10th gen. Atom, Pentium, Celeron. Yeah.
Oh, and they can find no other drivers on their site, so that was interesting. Maybe not.
Zvi still waiting for the VID PID for the webcam, for the camera, I think that was. And I'm going to do that now because, as Z just pointed out, if I don't do it when I see it in chat, I'll just slide right past and forget to get back to it. So right click on the Windows logo and then Device Manager, and then go to the camera, and Zavi, I will go to look at the most recent chat comments to look for a confirmation that I did get to what you want. I believe that's on details, and he wants the vid and the PID. Find that in here. Is it in hardware ID? I don't think it's actually labeled as vid and PID in here. Is it this hardware ID? That says vid. So, Zavi, I'm giving you a chance to take a picture or a screenshot of that. I'm scrolling down in chat on the other screen to see if you've responded to that. Not yet. Is there another? That one was labeled as vid. I don't really know. Is PID a different number somewhere? Class, driver, date, version, provider, inf section. There he says it's okay. So in chat he says it's okay. So I'm going to suspect that that means I have complied with his request, and it did not give us any useful information or anything that takes us somewhere else. Okay, Cordius, good afternoon, I'm late. He said it worked prior. Did the problem begin after an update? Yeah, so the problem showed up after a Zoom update or a Windows update, Martin? Do you know?
I seem to remember it was Zoom.
A Zoom update, you think it was? All right.
Yeah.
How long ago was this? Are we talking days, weeks, months that you've had the trouble?
I've been trying various things over several weeks.
Weeks? Okay. Going to Orange. William Dawson, the bottom line is a happy wife, happy life. A new computer may be the best answer. Now, Martin is technically competent by virtue of he has computer clients, computer service clients, and he uses Linux, and he feels okay about setting up a dual boot on his wife's computer for Linux and seeing if Zoom will operate well from there. And my guess is it will, or it has a good shot at it.
Less horsepower.
Yeah.
How long ago do you think, the reason I'm asking is, believe it or not, I may have, God help me, an old Zoom installer on an old computer, or a computer I haven't updated in the garage, if you really hate it. How long ago do you think it worked?
If you've got an old installer,
I say old, I mean less than 2 months.
yeah, I'm happy to give that a go.
If I can find out, give it. If I don't find it today, I'll give it to Doug and let him email it to you.
Yeah, good shout.
I will try to find it.
Okay, well, I just did a Google search here, install old version Zoom, and I get a hit here on Zoom's website, older versions of Zoom cloud meetings, download older versions of Zoom. So right click new tab, see what that tells us. And here's version numbers. I'm looking for something that's clickable for download. Now that's an advertisement there. Zoom Cloud Meetings 5.134, 5.1010, and oh, it is clickable. Yeah, there it is right there. So is that the oldest you could do? Oh, see more. Yeah, here you go. It's going back to May 2021. It was working back then, right?
Yeah.
All right, that'll do you. I'm not going to do that during this live stream.
No.
You can do that on your own.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's that. So that sounds really feasible, and then just don't take the updates after that.
That was gonna be my last question. I don't know, does Zoom offer you or just update? I mean,
Say
I
again.
actually-
I believe it's offering one right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must set mine on automatic update, but okay.
Well, I think
Anyway.
there's an
Yeah, there could be a way to turn off the automatic update.
Yeah, I think that's true too.
Does it force the update on you?
I don't think so,
Right.
but I
Okay.
can't swear to it. And then
I don't think it's good.
yeah, but also does it these older versions, will they allow you to just continue forever with them? They could be. I think you'll have to try that out, and you certainly know your way
Yeah.
around to deal with that. So let's see, there was Zavi's response there that we already hit. Greg, guys, sorry I'm late, woke up late. I think we're just about done, Greg. Dennis updated Zoom around 3 or 4 days ago for him. Wintermute, vendor ID and product ID is what they're looking for. They'll be listed together. So, but Zavi was already satisfied with what we saw. I feel really optimistic about that one of you installing an older version of Zoom. That sounds like the simpler way to go.
Yeah. Plus,
Uh,
I'll uninstall all unnecessary programs from just try and lighten the load on the processor a bit.
Yeah. Well, that computer already looks pretty light. Ryan saying if he gets the old version of Zoom, make sure you uncheck the box for automatically update on Zoom. Yeah, I'm quite sure there's a checkbox for that. We're not going to go look
Yeah.
for that now because I think
No,
we've
that's
accomplished.
a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Ida Rivera, the participants on top is called gallery view. Can you disable that or try moving the window more to the center of the screen? Participants on top is called gallery view. That's interesting. Ida, I was thinking there was something along those lines. I am really curious about that.
Yeah, the speaker view and gallery view.
Yeah, since it appears to be, Zoom appeared to be confused, where it should have been showing
Uh-huh.
just your wife's camera image, but it was showing the other participants. That sounds like it's getting confused between
Okay.
other participants. So I'm going to go ahead and join the meeting again on your wife's computer.
Okay.
I was thinking something along those lines, but with my brain being too busy, I couldn't formulate it. So we'll go without audio. And so now if we come up here to view in the upper right, it's currently on gallery view, and there's also hide self view and show non-video participants. So if I click speaker, we'll see what that does. So that's showing me. We don't, and we can see her camera in the upper left still wigging out. So that didn't stop it from wigging out. Hide self view. So that stops her view of that, but on my screen, here's my Zoom window, I still see the wigged out video.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So then coming back to her computer and the view menu, so if we go back to gallery with self view hidden, my Zoom session still shows her wigged out video. And what else do we have here? Show non-video participants. That's not going to help. Full screen? Seems unlikely. So when I put her computer on full screen, my Zoom of her camera looks worse. It just looks like a static image.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a useless track to go down, but it was a good idea. Yeah. I think we're about ready to shut this down, Martin, because I
Yeah,
think we've
yeah.
got you some ideas of where to go with it, and we'll be wanting a report back from you.
Yeah.
Let's. I'm going to exit her from the Zoom session, so I'll be able to bring you back up on my Zoom, but not quite yet. I'm going to do a last catch up with chat, just the oranges, and then we're going to put this to bed. And this is giving us a new build of Zoom. I don't think we're interested. Ryan, under Zoom settings, uncheck the box that says automatically keep Zoom up to date. Yep, we're aware of that. Greg M, I wonder if that update is waiting could fix the issue. Mildly possible, highly doubt it. Martin will make his own choice whether he wants to take the time to try that or not. Ryan says it looks like a bad analog signal. Yeah, it reminds me of the old television set, setting on the TV tray in our kitchen where I grew up. You know, the little one that we would watch during dinner.
You had to adjust the horizontal hold
Right.
and the vertical hold.
Right, that's right. William says, it's like the GPU or the CPU does not have the encoding needed to handle the new Zoom. That sounds like on a technical level, that might be spot on. So I'm going to come back to Zoom. Let's see, anybody that's still in Zoom, if you'd like to turn your camera back on. Of course, Gary never has his camera on. But yeah, turn your camera back on so that the audience can see that you're saying goodbye. And we're just going to say goodbye here. Gary, even turn yours on, even though it's not an actual camera, but we can see your frame. Oh, I guess that's on my end to unhide non-video participants, right? I don't know if I'm going to get to this in time.
That's actually me.
Show non-video participants. There it is. There we go. Now I'm showing you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
The talking dog.
So, if your dog can wave its paw goodbye, I'd like y'all to say goodbye to the audience, including you, Martin.
Yeah. No, thanks a lot for your input, Gary and Josh and Catherine as well. Some good points.
Yes, and all the others who have participated. Oh, look, I have my camera turned off. Yeah. All right. There we go. So goodbye. I'll go ahead and end the Zoom session. Well, Martin, was there anything you wanted to talk to me after I end the live stream, or are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah, me too.
So do I just click the close it on your login rescue window?
I'll close it from my side. And so you'll see, I'm going to point out to the audience.
I'll keep the app installed.
All right.
I'm happy to do that.
Which that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to point out to people that I yesterday made a video instructing people such as Martin how to install this DougBetts remote. I haven't decided whether I'm going to publish that or just use it as an unlisted video so that people can install the DougBetts remote on their computers. So I think that made it easier than what we've done in the past to establish a remote session. Now, when I disconnect from my side, Martin's going to see a message down here that remote control was ended by DougBetts and that the support session was ended. So I'm going to move to the top of my screen here and unmaximize this. I'll right click over here on Martin's line and end that session. Now he's still in Zoom at the moment. That just ends the remote control session. And then,
Hey, Doug,
yes, Josh.
I don't know how many clients that you have that are disabled and have a hard time installing apps and that, but when you install the DougBetts remote, it makes it a lot easier, especially myself, if I ever need help.
Right. Right. Because then all you do is double click on that desktop icon. It'll show up the name that you're going to show up as and complete the connection. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alright. See you
Josh,
later.
Josh and Martin, say goodbye, and I'm going to end the Zoom session.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there's my email address if you'd like to send an email to request me to respond during a video to a question that you have, or if you'd like to do a remote support session like this. We can do it during a live stream, or we can do it during a recorded video that I would upload and publish later. Then send to the email address there. If you have a question, you can also put it into a comment on any of my videos, and you can put it into the chat room. And we're done here, and all I see in here is goodbyes. And responding to Gary, we postponed on Alex's internet speed issue because he had to leave the house, so we'll do that another day. There we go. I don't know what to click on. Oh, there. All right. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.